When I heard the expression, "the world is full of children in adult clothing," I thought it was funny. And then I realized that we are the product of all of our experiences and memories. And many of the experiences that form us happen in our childhood. A few of my childhood experiences taught me that we get to decide in difficult times if we're going to feel ashamed or treat ourselves and others with respect. You see, on May 26, 1972, as a result of a car accident, my father became physically disabled. During 5 months of hospitalization, he was strapped into a striker bed that was flipped every 3 hours to heal his then paralyzed body. And I would crawl underneath that striker bed with handmade gifts, like painted paper plates with macaroni formed to say, "I love you, Dad," hoping to make him smile. And he always did, without a hint of shame. After he was released from the hospital, I remember stopping at Stedman's department store. Probably exhausted and overwhelmed with the idea of climbing the stairs, Dad handed me some change and told me to buy something for myself and my sister. I recall looking down at 2 small toys in my little 5-year-old hand and change in the other. And I could see Dad was watching me from the car, but I couldn't read the price tag or leave the store with the toys. Luckily for me, as I approached the cashier asking, "Is this enough for this?" she smiled and nodded. And that was when I learned that there is no shame in asking questions when you don't know the answer. As Dad progressed from a wheelchair to walker to crutches, he had to find new ways to feel satisfied about how he was achieving and contributing. And I became a facilitator. I carried whatever needed to be carried, and I watched patiently, ready to jump in when Dad's raw determination was not enough. As a child, it didn't seem bizarre to me that a man without the ability to walk could run a small farm, until one day in a hayfield. One of Dad's friends and his friend dropped by, and there we were, Dad in the tractor, my sister and I throwing bales of hay onto the wagon, and Mum building the load. And I noticed the stranger staring in disbelief, and I heard him say to Dad, "I can't believe you have your entire family out here getting all of this done. I can hardly get mine to have a conversation." At that point, I realized that people don't always help each other. I hadn't realized that that was an option. As an adult, I realized what I learned from watching my dad heal his body, spirit, and life with the determination that only a temporarily broken man could demonstrate. I learned that it's okay to crawl when it's too icy to get from the house to the barn, or when your crutches fall out of reach. I learned that shame and respect are closely related, and we get to decide if we're going to feel ashamed or respect ourselves and others with our fully functioning and our broken pieces. I sometimes notice how misinformed children in adult clothing seem uncomfortable or treat with disrespect those who have special needs. I often wonder if they fear that the disability is contagious. But we are all children at heart, wanting to be accepted and respected. So I strongly encourage you to recognize that you get to decide if you're going to feel ashamed or respect yourself and others when broken pieces show. I hope you decide on respect.